I'm Cali Vanderplatz and I'm from Carmel, Indiana, and I go to Carmel High School. Well, first of all, it's helped me get greater exposure to the medical field and kind of like zoning in more on what I want to do in my future, which is important because I'm going to be a senior in high school soon. And it's also just like exposed me to the whole different kind of culture coming here to Cusco, Peru, and I went to Lima, Peru last year. And yes, they're like in the same country, but I've just seen the two different sides, and it's just amazing to learn the ways of both different kinds of cultures. So, and I had never been out of the country before, like my trips with MedLife. So it really opened my eyes to like the rest of the world and how America can be so different. So last year when I went to Lima, my chapter was mainly focusing on fundraising money for the retention wall in Lima. And when I went there and I learned about the people that are very, very high up in the highlands or the mountains are usually the poorest, and they don't have land titles and they don't have the greatest access to water. And in order to get that, we needed to build a retention wall for them, and that was what MedLife was focusing on. And I got there when the retention wall was so close to being finished, and it was just like amazing to see the impact that my chapter had. And like the people that I went with on my trip, even though they weren't with my chapter, just to see like all the effort we put in and all the money we all fundraised to get that retention wall for those people, because I know it definitely improved their life. Well, going to these communities high in the mountains, you can see that they're very isolated. And with talking with patients and hearing from doctors, I learned that a lot of patients had maybe seen a doctor once or twice in their lives, and there was like women in the OBGYN station who had only been like checked out once and they were in their 50s. So just being able to provide medical care, to give them something, to give them some kind of exam, some medicines that could improve their life is amazing. And then getting to like also the money fundraising to help employ some of these local doctors to come and help these communities is awesome as well. And I'm really glad I've gotten to meet all of them. Well, I am the president at the Carmel High School MedLife chapter. And this year we got 13 kids to come on a Carmel High School like MedLife trip. It was just our high school coming, so that was pretty awesome. And some things we did this year, first in the beginning of the year, we really emphasized like the cool things on the trip, like exposure to the medical field. You're gonna go see Machu Picchu, just to like get people interested to come to our call out meeting. We really emphasized that. We had flyers, we had a thing for freshmen to show them about our club because they're new to the school. And then throughout the year, we had meetings like for fundraisers and stuff, but we always sprinkled in stuff about the SLT, and we continue to make more like endorsements for it. Like I made a whole video showing like what it would be like. I had like arriving at the airport and the mobile clinics and going to Machu Picchu and riding the train to it. And I had that played on our morning announcements to our whole school so that everybody could see it. And so I think doing that really gave people the idea of MedLife and knew who we were, because I think it's important that people at your school know what the MedLife Club is and know what we do. And then I started like going and talking to people personally. So I would go into classes where I would think these kids are definitely interested in science or the medical field. So I would go and talk to some of these students and tell them about the trip and my experience. And that got a lot of people interested to start coming to more of our meetings, coming on some Zoom meetings with me so I can explain to them the trip. And I got them to sign up. And then I also offered like to talk to their parents, to have a phone call with them, to have a Zoom meeting with them, just so that they feel more comfortable coming from a student who's already done that. And I offered for my parents to be on it too, just so that they could get some parental advice on it as well. So one of the big thing is a lot of kids, they want volunteer hours for other clubs just to have and whatnot. And so we told them, like, if you do these, we will sign off on volunteer hours. So I would definitely do that. But some of the specific things we did lemonade stands in the warmer months. We tried to have like 2 going at the same time in different parts of the town. And that actually raised a lot of money for just being out there for 2 hours, because people will come up to you and just ask you what you're raising money for. And they'll be very impressed that you're raising for low-income countries like Peru and medical care for the people living there. So they'll offer lots of donations and support your lemonade stand. And then throughout the year we did like give back nights with restaurants, and we like announced to our school like, hey, if you go here, part of what you spend will go to the MedLife Moving Mountains campaign. And then like during the different holidays, I would say, so like Halloween, Christmas, and Valentine's, we did a fundraiser for each. So Halloween, we did like candy bags. We had all our members like make candy bags and go and like sell them throughout the school to teachers and students and just kind of explain what the money is going towards. And then Christmas, we did like a DIY hot cocoa bag. So we had like the cocoa mix and the marshmallows and like a fun straw, and we did the same thing, going and sell that. And then for Valentine's Day, we sent out like a form on the announcements and had people like sign up if they wanted to send their friend a rose, and you could like put a note on it. And so that's what we did in one of the meetings with our club members. We had them like write the notes on the roses and just get it all ready. And then the next day we went and handed out the roses to people. And it could have been like in secret, or it could have been, or you could say who it was from, but yeah. So those are some of the things we did to help raise money for Movie Mountains. And it may not seem like a lot, but in all, it did raise a lot, and we were able to offer some money to help put towards some of our club members' trip who came. Well, first, if you're interested in going into anything in the medical field, this is a really great way to shadow doctors, to just get some exposure. And even if you're not interested in that, it looks pretty good on your resumes, and it gives you some volunteer hours. And not only that, you can come to these parts of the world and you can see the culture and the beauty and the wonderful things that they have to offer. But you also are exposed to the income inequality, and you can learn about how these people live and how it can differ from you, and that can really impact how you think of things in your life. And so I think this kind of trip gives you just opportunities for service work, opportunities for knowledge, and opportunities for fun, because you get to do all these touristy things as well. I get to go to Machu Picchu in like 4 days, and that's so awesome. We've gotten to do like really cool things throughout the week, like the planetarium and like painting on these like clay flutes. That was pretty cool. We got to go to an animal sanctuary and pet llamas and alpacas, and that was really awesome. And then also you get to meet so many friends. I told people before I was going on this trip, is like, you get to go on this trip, but it's like you're going to a camp in Peru, because you get just so close with the people that you're with, because you're sharing a room with them, you're riding on the bus with them, you're eating dinner with them. Like, they truly become like really close to you by the end of the trip. And so I just think it's an awesome experience as a whole.